Hey guys, today I have a Kenmore king size washer, and we've got a Samsung, also same size king size capacity dryer. And we've got them paired up here, running a load in the washer. Nice huge capacity on the dryer. I'm sure here you can see I've got about half a load of towels in there, which would still be considered a pretty heavy load of towels. You can see full submersion. I'm doing the deep wash, and I've got all this stuff set to off basically. Just kind of running a final test load. I've already been through 4 loads, checked everything, make sure everything's working perfect. No leaks, no shakes, none of that stuff. Everything you would test as if you were standing here yourself checking it out. Everything gets checked, that way you know when you get home, plug it in, you're gonna be good to go. And then I've got an extra one of these little strikers here. We plug it in so it thinks the lid's closed, so I can show you what it's actually doing. But it's getting everything mixed up, and I'm going to show you that it drains the water out and has a nice, fast, smooth final spin cycle as well. Then we'll move the clothes over to the dryer, and you'll get to listen and hear that run, as well as I'll show you that it's heating like it's supposed to. Now, for the hookup of your washer, you might consider a set of steel braided hoses like this pack here. I've got a link to both of these in the description. If you have trouble finding it, you can just click that. Also supports the channel, so we really appreciate that. But you can see here you've got blue for cold water, red, so it's easy to keep them apart. Now, the steel braided is important because the cheap rubber ones have a tendency to swell and burst, and you definitely don't want that happening, especially if you're not home. And then a surge protector, there's many different styles, and I got a couple linked in the description. I kind of like this one because I'm always plugging other things in, but you can also get dedicated ones. You just want to make sure that it's 900 joules or higher, and that's going to protect your washing machine and the electronics on it. This one also has I believe that's a 4-foot cable on it too. So something like that to protect the electronics on it, super important. And this pretty much covers the washer. All right, here the washer is spinning out. See, nice super fast spin action there. Doing an excellent job extracting the water out of those clothes. You can see, nice smooth operation. All right, now when talking about hooking up the dryer, a couple of things you're gonna need. You're gonna need to find out what type of power cord you're gonna need. These are all considered accessories, and they do not come with a new dryer or a used dryer typically. This is a 3-prong power cord. It's like that there, has 3 hookups for the back, and it's 30 amp. You wanna make sure you don't get a 50 amp that has a straight one here. That's for a stove. You want to make sure you get the right one for a dryer. And I've got these linked in the listing description also for you there. Now this is a 4-prong, so it looks a little different, but it still has the L there versus a straight one, because they also sell this in a 50 amp for a stove. Very similar, so want to make sure you get the right one for a dryer. You can take a picture of your plug in your laundry room and match it up, make sure you get the right one. This goes on the back of the dryer, and then it extends out to wherever your wall hookup is. Super important to make sure you get one. It's easy to use. A lot of them have a flathead screwdriver on it to tighten it down. I like these wings here. You could just do it by hand. It's so much easier because every 3 or 4 months you're going to want to take this off and clean it out, so this makes it a lot easier to do. And then lastly, I always recommend a good dryer sheet, and I do not do fabric softener in any of the washers that I use or the one at home. Fabric softener is like putting glue in your machine. Eventually it gums everything up. Use 2 or 3 of these and you get the same softness effect on your clothes, but it doesn't mess anything up. So that's kind of the essentials there for your dryer. All right, we've got the washer done, cleaned and cleared out. You can see nice huge capacity, so we'll go ahead and remove that, and that's good to go. Now we come over here to the electric dryer. Tons of options on here. I like time dry, and you can set it as high as you want with high heat, but you've also got your normal, and these are going to be on the sensor, so it's going to sense how wet they are and finish up. And this is kind of your direction for that sensor, saying heavy duty clothes, and it'll kind of manipulate the heat a little bit on its own. Otherwise, you can just do time dry. And if you run a cold hose, an additional cold hose from the washer down to the back of the dryer, then you can utilize the steam options. So all you need there is just a splitter on the back, so where the washer would go, cold water would go in on the washer, you'd have a splitter and you'd have an additional hose come off of that and just go straight over to the dryer. Then you could utilize the steam options, or you don't have to use them. You just don't hook up the water and they are there. Kind of is what it is. But I'm going to show you that it is heating like it's supposed to. So in between those two red dots, we're taking a temperature measurement. It's about 80 degrees on top of the dryer. Open this up. You can see everything's tumbling. It's nice and hot in the heating element tube there. And then you've got your lint trap right here. Just want to make sure this gets cleaned and cleared out before each and every load. So you've got good airflow coming, because hot air comes from there, mixes with the clothes, exits here, and goes down and out the back of the dryer. So we're going to close that up, and we're just going to start. Starts right back up. So I'll go ahead and get these listed up for sale. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out, and I do appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Thanks, you guys have a great day.